y'all, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to another installment of what has become a fairly popular channel series on my channel, and that is discussing, in my opinion, in my personal preference, in my experience, in a hyperbolic, humorous, not to be taken seriously way, discussing makeup that I feel like we didn't ask for, things that were put into production that I think either could have not been put into production, could have had a little bit more thought put into them, and things that they're just putting out for the sake of putting out makeup. Now, as it is with all of these, obviously this is my opinion on these products. In my videos of this, I do tend to get a little ranty, a little roasty, a little whatever. It's just a nice way for me to kind of get my feelings and my emotions and my whatever's out of there in a non-anti-haul way. And especially considering how much stuff just kept getting put out, I feel like it's good to look and to really dissect how much stuff is being released and how much stuff is just kind of like, why are we putting our money into producing this sort of mediocre, middle-of-the-road, unnecessary products? What are we doing? Oh, with that being said, I'm just gonna go all in on these. I'll leave my other ones linked down below if you haven't seen those. So without further ado, let's just get on into it. The first product that we definitely didn't ask for, although we may have asked for it in a certain way, but we definitely didn't ask for it the way that it was given to us. And that is the Becca, as well as the Too Faced Lunar New Year highlighters. The year may be new, but there ain't nothing new about them highlighters. Both of these companies literally took, and Becca I hold up to an even higher esteem because last year they did the Year of the Pig, and that was a new shade just for that highlighter. But these two brands, they were like, you know, let's jump on that Lunar New Year thing. Let's take highlighters that already exist. For Becca, let's imprint a cute little rat on it. For Too Faced, let's put some cute little red, vibrant holiday packaging on it. And let's shill it as a New Year highlighter thing. I mean, I don't know about y'all, but that seems to be like the laziest of the lazy. Like if they had just created Lunar New Year highlighters like Becca had done with the Year of the Pig, and they'd actually released a new shade, I would have been all for it. You know, that was something that I would have wanted to buy. But when you just take something that already exists, especially in the sense of like Lunar New Year, new highlighter, not so much. I mean, when this whole thing started out and I was like, I knew about the Too Faced one being the same, the Diamond Fire, whatever highlighter, I knew about that before I knew about the Becca being a re-promoted shade, and I'm just like, what? You have the money, you have the resources, you have the audience to make a new highlighter shade. It's not that difficult. So why are you just all up in here being like, well, let's just take something we got and slap something fancy? I just think that is the lowest of the low in marketing. I mean, it works, but that just seems just so low, so out in the whatever. I'm like, wow, we got so much more to invest in. We could have done this real good. So we definitely didn't ask for no re-promoted Lunar New Year highlighters. Then something we didn't ask for, although, see, this is all like, y'all know, this is like, if any of y'all have these and you love it and it's your end all be all thing, that is fantastic. But I feel like when you look at these products compared with other things that are released or other things that could be released, you're just kind of like, why? And this goes for the Manny MUA X Morphe palette. Now, my main reason that we didn't ask for this is because, well, I don't ask for Morphe products in general, but since Manny has started his own brand, Lunar Beauty, and he has started to come out with formulas that, in my opinion, exceed the Morphe ones, it's like, kind of like with Jeffree Star. You got your own company, you're making your own bomb diggity makeup. Why are you collaborating with this subpar brand that has inferior formulas to your own. Now, I understand I'm no PR manager. I don't know how long the contract and the whatever and everything like that, but I'm like, come on, Manny. I know you've had a long-standing relationship with Morphe, but just take that creativeness and put it into your own brand, because your own brand is a lot more aesthetically pleasing, is a lot more quality based, is a lot more, I mean, there's just so much more going for Lunar Beauty than there is for Morphe. And so I wish that he could just take all of that whateverness. It's like, you know, why collaborate? I mean, I understand money and whatever and all that jazz, but why go to a brand to make an eyeshadow palette when you have made eyeshadow palettes that are better formula? Your highlighters are bomb, your liquid lipsticks are bomb. It's just like, I feel like I'm done with the Morphe collabs, especially Morphe collabing with its OG people like Manny and Laura and Jacqueline. But I feel like it's like oftentimes kind of Morphe's attempt to like keep being whatever, and it's those, no tea, no shade, but it's those influencers, YouTubers trying to maintain a little bit of something. But Manny, let me just tell you this, honey, you are better than Morphe. Go do your own brand. Do you promote yourself? I will buy that shiz. Okay, this isn't so much a product so much as it is the presentation. Nikita Dragun created her line Dragun Beauty, which has received a myriad of mixed reviews, mixed thoughts. First product were 2 little face powders and a color corrector, and then she was like, hey, I'ma come out with a face palette. And I'm like, okay, all right. I kind of get behind her thing. She's all like, ooh, catfishing, la la la. So I can understand a good transformative face palette. What I do not understand, and what we did not ask for, was this face palette that its main selling point was the crazy packaging. I mean, I remember when this was released and all the drama channels were talking about it, and they had that, I think it was on Instagram or Snapchat, where she was showing off. She was like, this packaging is everything. This packaging is sickening, and it's all recycled, and we did all the things that we could to make it the most super fantabulous, recycled, amazing packaging ever. When the majority of your budget and the majority of your marketing and the majority of your selling point is the packaging rather than the product inside, it's kind of questionable as why even release the product. I mean, I feel like Miss Dragun was kind of taking a leaf out of Too Faced and being like, well, pretty packaging sells even if the product inside is kind of whatever. And the product inside wasn't that hideously offensive to me. I don't need another face palette. I don't need to be trying no new formula, so there was that. But just the emphasis on like the intricacy and the awesomeness of the palette rather than emphasis on the, oh, well, this is why my powders are so finely milled. This is why this highlighter formula or this blush formula is so bomb diggity because of all of this that we've done to it. It's like, no, this packaging is amazing and it's recycled plastic we got from the moon. I feel like we just need less emphasis on those kitschy selling points and more emphasis on the product inside and the quality and the consistency we are getting there. Please and thank you. Okay. Y'all know that's your girl. One of my top 3 favorite holy grail foundations is the Physicians Formula, the Healthy Foundation. That foundation does my skin good and I absolutely love it. Now, Physicians Formula, I feel like they have all the right kinds of intentions, but then when it comes to execution, they're falling just a little bit short. And what I'm talking about is when they attempt or try to do palettes. Because they are unable to do any sort of palette that isn't trying to be everything all at once. And especially their collab palettes. We're talking, you know, you got 2 face products, you got 4 shades, and then we've got to have big old giant slots for the perfume we're going to put in, and for the other product we're going to put in every Physicians Formula palette, except for they did do that one eyeshadow one. But typically Physician Formula palettes, especially ones that have face products as well as eye products, are insanely bulky and huge and clunky and like, I mean, I understand I probably have a larger carbon footprint than I would like to have, but like, can we think about the environment just a little bit? And even environment aside, can we think like, how are we going to store this stuff? Like, even in the sense of like, we can't even use the excuse of like, oh, well, it has everything in it and I like taking it with me because I travel. Because you're literally traveling with something that is the size of a large laptop. I mean, their most recent one, I anti-hauled that shiz and it was like, look at that, 2 face products, 4 eyeshadow shades, and then it had those 2 throwaway products that you take it, well, not throwaway, but you take them out, and so you've got the space where they were supposed to. There's just so much wasted space, wasted componentry, wasted materials. It is like the epitome of wasteful and big and clunky, but they keep doing it for some reason. Every time they do this whole collaboration thing, they're thinking the thing that the people want is this big giant palette with so much room in it, but we're going to give them this many products in it, and then we're going to fill in these slots with these other products here, and it gives me the biggest headache in the world. I cannot stand it. I mean, I just know we ain't asking for none of this big old giant clunky packaging. Physicians Formula, you've always been a offender in that department. Just slim your things down a little bit, make it a little less bulky, a little less asinine, unnecessary. Like, it's not even aesthetically pleasing. You just look at it and my brain I start having an aneurysm. Because looking at it, there's just, like I said, the wasted space and the whatever. I hate it. You know, if any of y'all do, if any of y'all love that or whatever, definitely let me know. But for me personally, I despise it. Okay, this next something is something very personal, very opinion-based, as is all of this, if we haven't learned that by now. I would hope that we've at least made that connection, the hyperbolic and the humor and the comedy in all of this. But I have ragged on this before. I will probably continue to rag on it so long as I am a beauty consumer. But y'all know when it comes to the tools of my trade, in my opinion, simpler is best. I don't need fancy doodads. I don't need anything to make it anything but something to apply my makeup with. I just need it to help this happen. I don't need any kind of fancy whatevers with it. And so with that being said, Beauty Blender, which for one thing likes to pat itself on the back a lot for being the original beauty sponge, which one of you all pointed out, the original beauty sponge were those horrible wedge ones that we used and stole from our mother. But Beauty Blender, in an attempt to keep itself sort of higher and holier than thou from a lot of other sponges, one thing they love to do is reinvent themselves in various colors. As such, recreating hype for a fairly rudimentary product by offering it in pink, blue, yellow, green, a series of marbled ones, a color-changing one, I believe black at some point, and obviously it's working because you all have heard me say it before. Every time Beauty Blender says, oh, we're coming out with a pistachio-colored sponge, the community loses its mind as if something has been reinvented. Y'all, they are just taking the wheel and repainting it. I promise you, that's it. And in my ever so humble opinion, it's like, it's gonna end up looking the same anyway. It's gonna get ganky and janky and nasty because it's, it's used to apply foundation, which is not exactly the purest or the cleanest of cosmetics. I mean, it's a sponge you're literally using to paint your face. And while I know quite a lot of y'all are big fans of those colored and whatever, and people collect them, and it's fun to have all the different colors, and I just don't understand why it is such a popular it's a sponge that they make different colors in order to get some excitement. I just think Beauty Blender is kind of up its own butt a lot, and they're like, well, we're the original sponge and Real Techniques can go shove it, and we're just gonna make ourselves in all these different little colors because a color changing sponge apparently is the level of innovation that we have reached in this community century. It could just be me. If y'all are down for all different kinds of sponges, that's great. I don't give a dingity dang darn about what color my sponge is. It could be the ugliest color that ever existed. So long as it does what it's supposed to do, that is all I care about. This next one is something that I kind of understand the market for, kind of understand the point of why it exists, but at the same time, this sort of falls under the physician's formula, excessively wasteful unnecessariness. Y'all know my current end-all be-all favorite makeup remover wipes are the Neutrogena ones. I mean, I feel like they're well known and well loved for a very good reason. And they were like, all right, you know what people need? People need single-use makeup remover wipes. Not only do they need single-use makeup remover wipes, they need single makeup remover wipes in this cute little adorable single-serve packaging. I mean, the first time I saw those, I was like, those are really, really cute. Because if there's something that I love, it's a miniature of something that's bigger. And so, you know, looking at them, you're like, oh, those are so cute, and it's such a good idea, you know, make it single serve, you know, toss a couple in your purse, you know, I understand, I see the reasoning behind it, the marketing, the whatevers. But number one, if I'm being honest with myself, it takes more than one wipe to do this. Secondly, it's like, I mean, if you look at the price by like price per and stuff like that, it gets jacked up like 80% compared to buying like one of the things. And then you've got the added emphasis of it being like, you know, so wasteful. You've got the outer packaging that it comes in, the little bag, and then each of those single wipes comes in another little packaging. It's just this excessive, unnecessary, because I'm torn, because I totally understand. I know a lot of people down in the comments are going to be like, well, I just throw it in my purse and it's the best thing since sliced bread. You don't know what you're talking about because you only wear drag makeup. You know, and so I do understand where it's coming from, but it's like, do we really need this? I feel like it's creating a solution to a problem that didn't really exist, or maybe it did and I'm just stupid and ignorant and have no idea about the hardship of the life of the single makeup remover user people. I don't know, it just seemed like something that was a little bit unnecessary, something that's just like, okay, all right, because it's so much more expensive and it's so much more wasteful. It just, I guess I'm not whatever enough to understand it. Okay, something else we did not ask for, although the people, I'm sure the people that asked for this, or the people that want this, or the people that use this are rich people with really nice vanities for them to put this thing on. But for you or I, for any sort of practical, actual makeup usage, we definitely weren't asking for this. But the Lancome Rose highlighter. Now, I use highlighter loosely. Y'all know I'm a fan of all varying kinds of highlighters, subtle, intense, in between. But when you are literally taking a dollar store fabric flower, putting it in a box, in a circular box, in a piece of cardboard. So you're putting a piece of plastic flower in a piece of cardboard, and then you're dusting a faint little effervescent fairy fart on it, and then you're selling it to people because you a bougie expensive makeup company for like $60, $70. At that point, it is no longer a highlighter. At that point, it is a gimmick. At that point, it is the highlighter is a lie. They aren't selling it as a highlighter. They're selling it to rich people who want to be fancy, who want to have a shimmery rose on their vanity. I can't tell you how many highlighter declutters I've watched where they're like, well, this highlighter is basically nothing, but I'm keeping it because it was expensive and because it looks nice on my vanity. I mean, I'm all for obviously having things and all kinds of decoration, but I'm all for things being decoration that's what they're being sold as. But if you're taking a piece of makeup and you're selling it to me as a decorative piece without any sort of makeup backing it, I take real object to that. And they haven't done this once, they've done this twice. Just taking a little highlight, a little flower, a little piece of plastic, a little dollar store. I can guarantee you, Lancome is not going out there and they're paying $20 for it. No, they're going to whatever and they're paying 5 cents a piece for those plastic flowers you can get at the dollar store. I'm just, $60, $70 for a gimmicky, kitschy little what. I'm just like, no. No. We, as regular consumers, did not ask for that. Okay, something random that we didn't ask for, which I find that this is a Sephora X something collection, and I've actually found that a lot of the Sephora X certain people or companies or whatever, a lot of us don't ask for them. It's the Sephora brand's desperate attempt at somehow maintaining its popularity, even though the majority of its makeup is kind of eh. But Sephora plus the Museum of Ice Cream. Now, y'all know your girl loves a cute, kawaii, kitschy aesthetic. It is one of the elements I do ascribe to. But when you release a collection that's makeup, but in the midst of that, you also have to release a little acrylic clutch and a bracelet? Like, when you have to release other non-makeup related products within the makeup release, I feel like you've already come to terms with the fact that you aren't marketing or banking on this collection's quality by the consistency and wonderfulness of the makeup alone. You're banking on it being cute. You're banking on it being kitschy. You're banking on the lip products looking like little ice cream whatevers. You're banking, when you gotta release, I've said this before and I'll say it again. When your literal marketing, part of your marketing whatevers, is releasing non-makeup related products in the collection, it's just kind of a disconnect. It's like, no! We're not asking for, if I want bracelet, I'm going to go to Walmart. I'm going to go to I'm not going into Sephora to buy my jewelry. Going into Sephora, buy me some highlighter. I just don't understand it. And all these collaborations, the Sephora brand is just ping, 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 going all around the place, like collaborating with anything willy-nilly just because. And the museum, it was just a very, very niche sort of product. It was all kind of like, it didn't receive the best reviews. I feel like with this collection especially, there was so much emphasis placed on the presentation rather than the products themselves. And I think that's a trend we're really getting into, where there is so much emphasis and so much marketing and money put into the presentation of these things that the formulation and the quality of the products just gets really lost in this mishmash of bright colors and excitement. It's just something that really boggled my mind. I'm like, let's just bring it back, create nice, aesthetically pleasing, streamlined packaging, put some good formulas in there, and we're good to go. All right, that is it for, I don't even know, I think this is the 3rd time I've done this. I'm going to continue doing this because this is a video series that you all have started to like, and it's something that I really enjoy doing because I like scroll through Trend Mood, and I'm like, wow, I like there's just so much stuff out there, scrolling through Trend Mood and going through 2018, 2017. It just boggles my brain how much crap is released in a year. Like something will be released in 2018 and I'm like, I thought that was like 2015. So this is definitely something that I am going to continue to keep doing. If there is a product down below that you think is something that was totally something we didn't ask for, I would love to hear that. Let me know what you feel about the products I talked about here. As I always say, this is personal preference. Ain't no need to get offended if you love any of these or all of these. In my one previous to this, I talked about the Norvina Mini Pro Pigment Palettes. I love those, but they were definitely something we did not ask for. But thank you guys so much for watching. I love you, and as always, keep it real. Mwah!